Hello, sweet friends. I have a delicious recipe for us tonight. You remember here a while back I told y'all that I made the lasagna roll ups, and I did a different way, and it was kind of like a trial and run, so I didn't do a video, and they were fantastic, and I'll never do it another way. Well, I made them also the other night again for Braden and Colin whenever we had dinner over at Braden's house. Colin said it was the best thing she had ever eaten, but I know she was probably just trying to be sweet, but because that's how she is. But they are really, really good. And the thing that makes these different, the only thing is just the cheese mixture. Okay, instead of ricotta, I use this Boursin cheese. It is the garlic and fine herb Boursin cheese. I'm going to hold it up here. I know it's backwards. You can get this in the deli section at Walmart over there by like the potato salad, the coleslaw, the chicken salad, like all of that stuff that they have right there at the deli that they make, the subs, the pizzas, all of that. That's where it is at mine, okay? You can find this. Now at Kroger, it's usually out in the middle of like one of those little areas that they have, stations that they have like out there in the middle. Anyway, this is what makes it so good. I'm not crazy about ricotta, and I thought, what else is something I can use? And I decided to use that, y'all, and it is just, you know how like sometimes you can change up a recipe and you think to yourself, okay, well, I can tell a little bit of a difference. No, you will really be able to tell a difference with this. The creaminess and the cheeses, other cheeses that I use, I'm telling you, it's fantastic. You've got to try it. So, what I have done so far, y'all, I have just made it. I've got my leftover sauce because, like I said, I wanted to make this for y'all. I had leftover sauce and I had all the other stuff, so I thought I'm going to make another batch. I'm doing a smaller batch, but I'm going to tell you the whole recipe. And then I'm just going to share this tomorrow. But you can do, this is my homemade sauce that I made. And if you've never seen my homemade sauce, I can post a link for that. But you can do just a jar sauce with your ground beef. You do it, just make whatever you would normally make for your spaghetti. Okay, that's all you need. It's just a good meat sauce, or you can leave the meat out and just do a good marinara. This would be a delicious vegetarian meal if you wanted to leave, or vegan. I don't know what it is. One eats cheese and one don't. I don't know. But anyway, you can leave the meat out and just do your marinara if you want to. Okay? And so I went on ahead and I have boiled our lasagna noodles. I think I boiled these for about 6 minutes. You just want to boil them long enough to where they're flexible and you can work with them. You know, just like this. Okay? So let's get started with this. Let's get our cheese mixture mixed up because that is the most important part, y'all. All right, so in my bowl here, I'm doing a little bit less than the recipe because, like I said, I'm making a smaller amount. But I'm going to tell y'all the exact recipe, okay? So you're going to need 2 ounces of cream cheese. All right, and then you're going to need a whole box of this Boursin cheese, okay? I'm cutting it down, but just remember, you're going to need a whole block of it, all right? And now, if you do want to make it a smaller amount like me, that's fine, but I want to just go ahead and tell y'all the whole amount, because most of the time, your ground beef, your jar sauce, your noodles, all of that's going to be enough to make a whole batch, okay? So, 2 ounces cream cheese, 1 whole block of Boursin garlic and fine herb, and then we're going to do you want to do 2 tablespoons of sour cream. Now, this just really helps mix it up really good. If you don't like sour cream or you don't have it, you certainly don't want to buy it for a couple ounces. You can add in just a splash of water, maybe a splash of milk, some of your pasta water, just nothing hot. You don't want to get your cheese melted up. But it just really helps mix everything up really good. That's about the purpose of that. I'll go back over this too at the end, y'all. Let me get out my cheese. All right, and so then you're going to do 1/4 of a cup of grated Parm. Okay, let's see here. Let me get this opened up. Like I said, don't pay attention to how much I'm adding because I'm adding less than what you would do for the whole recipe. All right, so 1/4 cup grated Parm, and then you're going to want to do 1 cup of mozzarella. I have shredded up here. Okay. And then you're going to want to do some salt and pepper. Just, you know, sprinkle some in. Just eyeball it, y'all. Just eyeball. All right, and then I have some basil here. This is fresh basil. You can leave this out if you want to. And then I have some parsley here. Now that, like I said, the Boursin cheese has parsley in it. So I'm not going to add too much, but I am going to add just a little bit. Okay? You got that. And that is it for our cheese mixture. All right, as I mix this up, I'm going to run back over it with y'all. So you're going to want to do a whole box of the Boursin cheese. You're going to want to do 2 ounces of cream cheese, 2 tablespoons of sour cream, 1/4 of a cup of Parm, 1 cup of mozzarella, some salt and pepper, parsley, and basil, which is optional. Okay, you see how it is, how creamy it is. That's about how you want it. It's going to be a little stiff, but that's okay. That's how you want it to be. Just mix all that up, y'all. This smells so good. It's almost like you just want to take a spoon and take a bite of it. That's how good it smells. It's fantastic. Y'all take my word for it. Okay. Let me see. I may do just another little jot of sour cream. Like I said, this mostly just helps mix it really well. And I love sour cream, so it works. But if you don't, just put whatever you want in there to kind of thin it out just a little bit, okay? All right, I think that's perfect. So now what we're going to do, we're going to get our pasta over here. Hang on just a second. Let me rearrange. Y'all know how I am with my space. Let me rearrange and I'll come right back. Okay, y'all, I think I have it all set up here. So here's our cheese mixture. The star of the show, I'm telling you what. So what I like to do, I'm just going to take my lasagna pieces and just lay them out here like this. I'm thinking, like I said, I'm doing this smaller pan. I'm thinking I'm going to maybe do 6 or so, whereas the whole recipe in a 9x13, you can easily fit in 10 roll-ups, okay? So just keep that in mind. That's typically what you want to go for. So let me see if that's about right. I always like to do 1 little scoop first and kind of spread it out, and then that way I kind of know how much I need to put on there, because I can't never remember from one time to the other. So that's about right. This is just a tablespoon here that I have. You see, and so about this much you would put. If you can tell, that's about a good tablespoon, a little bit more. And then you just spread it out on all of your noodles. All right, y'all. Y'all can see here what I'm doing. I'm going to get all these finished up, and I'll come back and I will show you the next step. I just don't want to keep you while I'm doing this same thing over and over. I'll be back. All right, y'all, you see here, I have all of our lasagna pieces good and covered in our cheese sauce. And so now what we're going to do is put just a little bit here in the bottom of our pan. Just some of our sauce here. I think I already showed you. We're just going to put just a little bit in the bottom, not much. Just enough to give it something to cook in. Y'all know how this goes. Alright, let's leave it at that. Let's see. About like this. And like I said, I have 6 here, but now the recipe that I told y'all, and I'm going to tell you again, makes about 10, okay? Because that is the regular recipe. And then what you're going to do is take some of your meat sauce, put it over each one, like this. Just a little bit, not much. Okay, just like that. And y'all, I put me a damp paper towel underneath this little chopping board thing here that you call it, and it does not slide a bit. I was able to spread that cheese on there with no problem. It works out so good. Alright, so then you just kind of spread out your meat sauce. Let's see, a little bit more right there. Just kind of spread it out. And then you just roll them up. And then we got some good stuff we're going to put on top. Alright, let's leave it at that. Y'all know I could keep going forever with my OCD. But you don't want to push it, you know, because if you do, you're going to push all your stuff off at the end. Just gently roll it up, just like this. And some of it may come out, that's okay. And then just lay them in here. Let's see, I think I'm going to do mine this way since I'm doing 6. But you can just lay them in there however you want. And just roll them up. Okay, y'all, I'm just going to finish rolling these up. I don't want to keep you while I do this, and I'll be right back. All right, y'all see we have our 6 little rolls here. Now, typically whenever I do the whole batch, I don't have like this much like extra space in here. So don't be alarmed if you kind of have to cram them in there, because that's just the way it is, okay? All right, so now I am going to add on some mozzarella. And I like to get this sliced cheese from the deli. This is just sliced mozzarella that I got from the deli. And I just really like it. I feel like using the sliced cheese like this gives these roll-ups kind of like a vintage look, I guess you could say. Kind of like old school. I don't know. It just, I love the look that it gives. So we're going to, all I'm doing is just taking a slice and breaking it in half. It does not have to be perfect. That's what I love about doing it this way, is that it's not perfect. And they turn out so good. Okay, so now we got that. Now we're going to add sauce onto each one. Now I'm sure you're thinking, why don't you just pour the sauce over? Well, I like to do it this way so that you can see in between each roll whenever you're serving it. You know what I'm saying? That way you're not just cutting into a roll and messing it all up. You know what roll you're getting, or know that you're getting a little roll. If that makes sense. It sounds silly saying rolls, but that's what they are. I'm just going to just keep blathering this on here. Looks like I did have enough. I was worried that I didn't. It looks like I kind of made it a little more than what I did need, but that's okay. So let me tell you what to do. If you do the bigger batch, and they're all crammed in together, only thing you want to do is after you put your sauce on there, take you a knife or a spoon or anything and just kind of go down in between them so that you can see whenever you're serving, you can see where to cut, okay? So I'm going to put some over here on the edge. I forgot about that. I might as well just use all this because I don't have nothing else to do with it, so I'll just put it all in there. Around through there. This sauce is good. Now you don't have to make homemade. Like I said, if you want my homemade sauce, or I call it semi-homemade. It's not all the way homemade, but anyway, if you want it, let me know. I have shared it on here before, and I will reshare it for you. Okay. All right, so we've got that on there, and then now I like to use this white American cheese, and I get this from the deli also. Now listen, if you don't like this kind of cheese, I know a lot of people don't, that's fine. You can use mozzarella or any kind of cheese of your choice, okay? We're going to do the same thing. We're going to break it in half. This kind of cheese kind of crumbles up a little bit more, but that's okay. That's what I'm saying. I love the look that it gives it after it cooks. Okay, I'm going to put that on there. But really, it's just like making spaghetti. The only other thing is just fixing the little cheese mixture, which y'all saying is super easy. And put some more in there. And then just spooning it out and putting it on there. That's it. It's very, very simple. I'm using all this just because I don't want it to end up going away. So I just thought, put it on there. Okay. And then I do like to do a little bit of mozzarella, my shredded on top, just like in between here. Kind of like that. Let's see. And a little bit goes on top. Okay. Now I have some of our herbs. I have some basil here, my little fresh basil. And again, this is all optional. You can use dry if you want to. Just whatever you have, or if you don't have any, then that's okay. All right, a little bit of parsley. I love these little things like this that you can buy at Walmart. They keep for a long time too. Okay, we got that, and then I have my fresh Parmesan. Now, of course, you can use just the container like that I use all the time, but I have this, so I'm going to use it. And just use that to put over the top. And then I'll probably put some more at the end, y'all know that. But when I tell y'all these are delicious, I don't even have the words to explain how good they are. Okay, now what I'm going to do, y'all, is just cover this. I have my oven on 375. I'm going to cover this, pop this in there, and I will probably cook it maybe 20 minutes or so, and then I will take the foil off and cook it maybe another 10, 15 minutes or so. And anyway, I will be back. Hey y'all, all right, let's look at our lasagna roll ups. Y'all, they look so good. They smell so good. Yum, yum. This is a beautiful looking dish, if I have to say so myself. Is it not? Look at that. So what I did 375 covered for 20 minutes, and then I took the foil off and did about 15 minutes uncovered. And then, y'all know I liked it. It just had that really nice, I mean, I was kind of undecided what I wanted to do because the top, that American cheese melts so good. It had just that really pretty white melted cheese color on top. But anyway, I went on ahead and turned it on broil for just a few minutes to let the top brown up, because y'all know I like to do that. So that's why it has like the darkness on the top. But that's up to you, however you want to do it. Right now I have my bread in the oven. It's just this this here that I got at Walmart, the French bread with garlic and herb. It's just the one, well, I wasn't even holding it in front of the camera, silly me. It's just these that you get at the deli there. You know, it's super cheap. This was $1.82. I made quite a bit of this the other night whenever we had our dinner at Braden's. I made me a sandwich out of this, and then tonight I'm still working on it for $1.82. Can't beat it. They're the best little loaves. The only thing is they don't last that long. You have to pretty much kind of use them up. They don't last as long as regular bread. I've got me a salad over here that I've put together. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to focus on this bread because I know it will burn really quick, and I will be right back. Okay, let's plate up our little meal here. Here is my salad, y'all. Like I said, this is just the traditional salad. And see here, I went easy tonight and did the, what's it called? The mix. I don't know. My mind has went blank, but it's the kind that I always get. Well, shoot. I know y'all are sitting there saying it while I'm trying to think of it, but I cannot think of it for nothing. Anyway, that's what I got. And I put some cucumbers in there, and I had about half of a tomato left for my sandwich today. I had a little piece of a green onion left, so I tossed that in, and then some cheddar cheese, some mozzarella, and a little bit of parm. And that is it. I'm still trying to think of what it is called. I know it, but I don't know what's wrong with me. Why I don't know right now what it is. Spring mix. Goodness gracious, spring mix. If I ever buy a mix, it's always spring mix. And actually, I like to get it and mix it in sometimes whenever I do my, you know how I do my romaine lettuce? I like to get a spring mix and mix in with it. But anyway, and then I always like to do some pepper in my salad. A little bit of salt, and then I'll put some parm on it whenever I put some of this. Y'all, this here, I tell you what. All right, we're gonna get this one right here out of the corner. But you see what I'm talking about, how you can tell, if you've seen this, you probably can't on there, but if you've seen this close up, you can tell where the rolls are. And that's what I like. You don't want to tear a roll apart. Oh me, y'all. Look at this thing. Look at that. How does that look? Goodness gracious. Cheese going everywhere. You get that little bit of extra. I think, you know, I was adding that meat sauce thinking that it was a little much, but I think it turned out great like that. I think from now on I'll do a little bit more. Kind of like we did today. Okay. Wipe my hands off. Let me grab me a paper towel and a fork. And get me a fork out. And then, it's still hot. Move this over. And then I did just a little, some of the bread. I just sliced it off. And, you know, I always just make a garlic butter with butter, garlic, maybe a little bit of oregano and parsley, I think is what I put on this. And I don't like to cook it too long because I like for the inside to still be kind of soft like this is right here. This is perfect. I don't want to mess this up, y'all, because I need a picture of this. This looks so good. All right, I'm going to do a little bit of fresh parm on top. With my salad, too. You've got to try these rolls. I want you to make them this weekend, if you can. Look at that. Talk about a good little meal. I meant to have made a salad the other night whenever we had this, but I was so busy that day and I had so much going on. I didn't get around to it. But a salad, of course, is perfect with this. I hadn't had me a good salad in a while. I love that spring mix. Y'all tell me if y'all like it. I really enjoy it. It's like I said, it's the only kind of bagged lettuce that I ever buy. All right. Let's cut into our lasagna roll here. You know, this is so much easier than making actual lasagna, but it's the same thing. You know, it's just rolled up instead, basically. It's still steaming hot. I should have got the piece out and let it sit there and cool for a minute before I got back on here. You know, that is so good. Absolutely delicious. Now, I don't know if I said this earlier, but just in case I didn't, I want to make this loud and clear. This is not authentic. This is just my little concoction, if you've ever heard that word, that I come up with that I wanted to make my lasagna roll. Okay? It is not authentic. I don't claim it to be, but it is delicious, and I encourage you to try it. Okay? It is so good. It don't matter to me if it's authentic or what. Now, I know most of y'all, you don't care if it's authentic or what it is, but there are those some people that care. It's going to let us know, and there will still be somebody that will let us know. No doubt. Also, if you are seeing this video on YouTube, it is stolen content. I do not have a YouTube page. You will only find me on Facebook, Cooking with Kimmy Sue. If you're watching this on there right now, someone is posing as myself and posting my videos. I'm not on there. It is not me. It's not me you're talking to in the comments. I've read your comments. I've been on there and I have seen. And I appreciate all of it. There's so many kind words on there. But it's not me that you're talking to. I don't know who it is, but somebody is taking my stuff and posting it. So come to Facebook, unsubscribe to that, come to Facebook, Cooking with Kimmy Sue. I do plan to get on YouTube. I keep saying that, but I just haven't got around to it yet. But I'll let everybody know whenever I do. Y'all, you gotta try this. It is so, so good. I promise you. Alright, y'all. I have kept you on here way too long. I was just so excited to be back with you and show you this delicious recipe. We've talked about it a few times and I just never got around to doing it for you. Like I said, I made it the other night for Braden and Colin. Braden had never had it this way either. So, and he loved it. Colin loved it. She says best thing she ever eaten, but she's just sweet like that. Bless her heart. But anyway, it is very good. I want you to try it. I'm going to get off of here. I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.